Tune in Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. UTC Time to watch the Sandstorm stream live here on YouTube or over on Twitch. Today we're joined by NFT Worlds, ArcDev. What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
I usually like to just start out with a little bit of introduction. I guess just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I go by ArcDev. I'm one of the co-creators of NFT Worlds. I do most of the development work and leading the development team. And my co-founder, Temp Tranquil, does more marketing, business related stuff. Just a lot of things in general. Been in the crypto space for a while. Just pretty much full time on NFT Worlds and another project we have at the same time called Gray Boys.
Can you give me, I guess, a little bit of a background on the project?
We started in September. The initial mint was October, I think it was October 6th. But yeah, we started the project kind of looking at the whole idea of the metaverse and seeing what the Sandbox and Decentraland and all these other projects had built to date. We felt that, there's so much opportunity and excitement around what people can build and the idea of the metaverse for communities and just experiences in general. But there's games and platforms that were already around that felt like a fantastic fit. Minecraft specifically is what we felt. So it didn't make sense to remake a game from scratch rather than build the layers on top you need for like an interconnected metaverse, and that's kind of where we went from there.
How do you, I guess, connect the blockchain with Minecraft?
Yeah, a lot of it's pretty much all on the software side, right? So this coming weekend, it's either going to be this weekend or definitely next week, if not this weekend. We're releasing our server software layer, which has a bunch of optimizations to handle higher play counts than pretty much any server for Minecraft you can get off the shelf right now. It will have the blockchain layer, so people can write in JavaScript or Java full-scale games on top of their NFT worlds. So all the pieces really for the blockchain interaction layer and verification within like the world itself for the players that are playing in the world are happening on the server side. And then on the actual player side, there's a launcher client. So a Minecraft launcher is basically like you would no longer need the Minecraft like downloaded client, for example. You still need to log in, but it just pre-installs all of the required mods for the systems we built. So it adds things into the game across all games like player trading, world transferring, world transactions, quality of life improvements, things like that pretty much more make the baseline Minecraft game focused on what we're doing with NFT Worlds.
So say if I like go and purchase a world NFT, how do I integrate that into Minecraft? Like, can I use that world in Minecraft? Like, is it already set up and everything?
Yeah. I mean, when you get a world, right now, the base layer is a seed. What you're buying really is access to the network that we're building and all the tools that come for each of the worlds.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you would get a seed as soon as the server software is live and we launch. That is being available for launching a multiplayer world. You have two options, or you will have two options. You can download the server software; it's open source, and you can choose any hosting provider to host it on, or you can use like a baseline service from the world manager on our website to just quickly launch up the world and have it ready for multiplayer for people.
Tell me a little bit more about the team. How many of you guys are on the team?
Yeah, so there's myself and Temp Tranquil, or the primary co-founders. There's three people on the open source front end and Solidity side. So these are people that kind of help develop dApps and like the smart contract side. They give us second looks on the work that I do with them and whatnot. We have one person that's coming in next week to start working with us more on like the Java development side for Minecraft server, Minecraft client, so that we're not stretched so thin and bouncing between a million things. And then, yeah, we have like 3 or 4 community moderators, and that's probably the team right now. We're trying to move faster and faster, and so we're starting to scale up the engineering team. And then, as community grows with that, we're scaling that up as well.
Will people's worlds be, I guess, connected?
You can connect them. So all the worlds are hosted independent, the worlds that are made available for multiplayer will be hosted independently in servers and whatnot. But you can interconnect them with a portal mechanic that we're developing. So Let's say you're on a world that's partnered with some NFT community. They might have just like a little doorway or a portal or something fairly clearly marked that lets you go visit that partnered community's world or the partner's world or whatnot. You walk through it, you just transfer over to the other world, which just connects quickly to another server.
You guys have any like collaborations that you guys are working on?
Yeah, so we have a lot of NFT communities that are launching on top of the project slash platform that we're building. They're not really like how you think of a partnership, like two people come together, like this is what we're both getting out of it, this is what we're both wanting to do. It's more like they see the possibilities with the platform and they're like, this is going to work really great. Like I see what other communities are building, we're just going to launch it. And then we usually like retweet them or like get excited about it within the community and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
that's probably the closest thing at the moment is just all these communities. I think we're at 50 to 75 pretty sizable NFT communities now that are building already. And it just keeps growing every day.
I wanted to next move on and talk about your guys' token, the world token.
The world token's the base layer of the in-game economy, just like you have in any game, RuneScape, World of Warcraft, any of those MMORPGs or whatnot. You have gold or whatever the currency is in a game. That's basically what the world token is. So it's a decentralized token that's based on the Ethereum blockchain. It's an ERC20 token. So it gives us a way to have a standard form of in-game currency that works across these decentralized worlds, right? Because they're all on different servers. They're all not interconnected to each other necessarily in a programmatic way. So you need a layer for a baseline transaction system, and that's what the world token is. So world owners are going to build experiences, items, content, perks, etc. that can be purchased with the world token. Players can trade back and forth for different items in game with the world token. Pretty much everything you do with a currency in a game.
And so you don't need to like specifically own a world to play in the game.
No, you don't. Owning a world just gives you the ability to create content on top of the platform, but absolutely anyone can come in and play for free and experience all the worlds people have made.
The play to earn side, is it going to be based on specifically what that world owner wants to do? Like if they want to have a game within the world or they just want it to be a hangout or something like that?
Yeah, so there are two key pieces for play to earn that we are pretty certain on right now. The first one is players that play will have a set amount of world they earn every hour with a cap on a daily basis just for being active and playing in the game. So just like a very baseline play earning mechanism. And then beyond that, the worlds themselves will have play to earn mechanics based on what the world owners are building and what kind of games they have. So, this could be like a racing game where, every time you enter in a race with other players, like there's a prize pool that's automatically set up. The winner each time gets the prize pool of however many world. It could be something like quest progression in an RPG type world. Pretty much what you would tie achievements to in a game, you can basically tie back to rewarding with world token in the same kind of context.
So I did read you guys' white paper. You guys are planning on doing staking? You guys can't stake right now?
Yeah, staking's going to be, we're working on the contract right now. So you'll have a baseline reward for staking. And the thing we wanted to do with staking is not just be like, okay, we're going to have a way to lock up supply. We wanted it to actually benefit the ecosystem. So with staking, yes, you'll be able to stake, but at the same time, when staked, you can define an interval of time that your world is available for quote unquote lease by another person. So like, let's say that the floor price of NFT World is 5 ETH or something that most people don't have, or even a lot of like small indie game developers might not be able to afford or justify. If you stake your world and make it available for lease, you can set a certain amount of world token that they pay on a month-to-month basis, and you can set how long you want your world to be available to be leased. And that gives the opportunity for these people to come in, buy some world token, get access to the content side and developability of a world in exchange for paying a month-to-month lease on your world. And so, like, if you weren't going to build on it in the first place, let's say you have 20 worlds and you have 5 you're building on and 15 you just wanted to hold, the other 15 you can put up for staking and lease them, and you're automatically going to get world token based on the price you set you want per month and however long that those worlds end up being leased out for. And then it adds to the content ecosystem because there's more worlds being developed and more content being made.
Since it is in Minecraft, I know like you talked about different items that you could buy. Is it going to
Mhm.
be just specifically Minecraft items?
No. So we wanted to figure out how do we tie unique items that people could make specific to their game back to the blockchain. And so one thing we've been working on and experimenting with internally that we haven't talked much about is a system for world owners to mint item representational NFTs for their games in such a way that um, in a game, let's say you purchase an item from a market. Um, the way that would work is you pay world token. Let's say it's an NFT that you get into your wallet. That wallet now has that specific token for that specific item. And anytime you load into that world, it recognizes your wallet. It recognizes which NFTs for which items you have in your wallet. It can load in the content for you automatically. And then the idea is making that system, because it's then separated from just a single world server, making that system transferable across all the worlds. So let's say you partner with another world that maybe, I don't know, let's say it's a different RPG and you have a special item that you both agree with that if players have it in your world, it also represents over in their world. And then you have all this ability to do cross pollination of content and whatnot. So, yeah, it's a big thing we're trying to think about how we can do.
Part of the world token is going to be used on Polygon, right?
Yeah, Polygon gives us a way to do world token transactions without requiring any gas fee at all from the players. So you don't have to get Matic, you don't have to get Ethereum, which we thought would be, a huge barrier to
Yeah,
entry, especially if you don't know crypto and you just want to play a game.
yeah. So how exactly does that work?
Technical side, right? Like on the blockchain, you always need gas of some kind typically. So we have a system where when you want to submit a transaction, it goes through what's called a forwarding node that basically covers the gas for you and submits the transaction on your behalf after you've signed it. And through that way, we can basically pay the Matic fee with the node, and then in exchange, the transfer method can have a fee tied to it. So we can basically say you only need world to do transactions, and the way we don't kill ourselves on paying all these transaction fees is we take a very small percentage of the total world transferred from the recipient, just like you would a credit card fee.
Yeah,
And then we can convert that back and forth to Matic at any time, because Matic's pretty inexpensive to do transactions with. It's a couple of pennies, if that, depending on network
yeah.
fees at the time. It might be something like 0.1 world, 0.2 world in transaction fees for every transaction, but at the end of the day, it removes the friction from the player base and gives a lot more opportunity.
Is there any connection, I guess, to NFT Worlds and the Gray Boys project?
Yeah, there absolutely is. The Gray Boys, like the core utility is we have this experimental proof of concept that we did internally before we launched it, where we could proxy NFT ownership perks to other wallets as if they held them, but not actually giving them the ability to transfer them or do anything like that.
Mhm.
But as far as NFT Worlds itself goes, the Gray Boys are going to have the first playable character models that are custom within NFT Worlds. And those are actually releasing probably in the next week or so, or at least the previews of them will be. The integration will probably come in like, a timeline, maybe in February. It just
Yeah.
depends how quickly we get the launcher out. But yeah, you'll have aliens running around. It'll be kind of fun.
You guys plan on doing more hunts?
I think so, yeah. This one was a lot of fun. The puzzlers have really enjoyed it. I think the next one maybe we'll make it a little lower stakes but easier, just so people can enjoy it more and not be such a high difficulty curve. Which with this prize size, we kind of had to do that. But
You spoken in Minecraft, and we'll read an official announcement that has been no issues with what you're doing in Minecraft policies.
yeah, so I think the thing that's hard here, first, yes, we've spoken to them. We spoke to Milo. We spoken to the IP team. We have a really good relationship with them. Minecraft doesn't like directly and publicly and officially endorse third party projects, even though they allow them. Some great examples of that I mentioned earlier are Hypixel Skyblock. They're a humongous monetized game built on top of Minecraft with tens of thousands of players, and Minecraft allows them to do what they do. With us, it's kind of the same situation. Like we've talked with the IP enforcement team, And, they're just watching what we're doing. They have no problem with what we're doing at the moment. We talk and forth back in email should they have any questions. The biggest thing for them is, they have a few brand guidelines they want us to enforce, and like we actively try to do it as much as possible. And those brand guidelines were basically like, just within Minecraft, we don't like people building like big corporate advertised worlds. So like a Walmart or a Disney, like we don't want them to come onto the platform and start targeting kids by building these types of worlds. And so to the extent that we can enforce that too, like they want us to fully enforce it. And so we tell our mods that we try to, make sure that those humongous corpo brands don't, come in and try and do what they're doing. But, small people's projects for fun, their NFT communities and stuff like that, like it doesn't seem to be an issue. It's just more like people trying to target kids with a monetized product that are these large corporations. They don't want to see that. And so we're like all about, we just want to follow the rules they set. And as long as we do that, it seems like everything's fine.
So where do you see the project going, I guess, say like 6 months from now?
I think once we have all of the layers, like, right, we have to build bottom up. Like you need the support to build a structure on top of, right? So that's kind of like how we're thinking about it. The beginning was adding the baseline worlds to the blockchain as Minecraft sees with the renders and everything. The next part was giving players the ability to update the worlds, tie them back to the blockchain, update the NFT. Next part is building the token layer for transactions in game, which we started to do. Next part is releasing the server software to launch multiplayer. Next part is launching the multiplayer router so you can have a game client look up where and how to connect to servers. But building bottom up, moving pretty fast. I think from like a project standpoint, I think this year, with just how crazy adoption is in Minecraft around great games, I think it's possible that we definitely flip the player base of active players on Sandbox. I don't even think they have that many active players. We might have done it with just a scavenger hunt if you look at their daily statistics, which is kind of sad. But I think people are going to wake up to like, how capable Minecraft is as a metaverse. And with the blockchain layer is pretty much given you in a frictionless way to build on top of, like how incredible you can make a world and like how much you can build into it that you can't get with any of these crazy multi-billion-dollar platforms already, like, but you can't get with, NFT Worlds. I would love for us to flip the Sandbox as far as market cap on either coin and or land/world price. I think it's possible. It just comes down to development and further visibility in the project through people starting to play and earn and stuff like that. I think we want to be the go-to metaverse platform for people to build on top of and create games and experiences. That's a good question someone just asked. Is the plan to allow folks to run commerce in their world or mostly just challenges and hunts? Yeah, absolutely. You will 100% be able to run full commerce in your world. You'll be able to have like item merchants, sell perks, event tickets, things like that for World Token. All that's going to be possible, and we fully expect people to do all of that. Pretty much whatever you can think of that you can like tie to a transaction in exchange for world, like whatever you want to give someone in exchange for world, you'll be able to do it. Like we're making it as flexible as possible and trying to bring the development friction as low as possible so people make pretty amazing things.
I appreciate you your time today. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will be live again on Monday, 12 o'clock Eastern time.